I'm just going to say it. We need to talk. This is a direct message to Korg, and we need to talk very seriously. Because it seems to me that Korg is our only hope in terms of creating something new with workstations. Okay, you are our only hope. Okay, let me tell you what I mean. Who's making KRONOS right now? Like, seriously, this is a serious question. Who is making the KRONOS right now? Who is making the only platform that has not one, not two, not even three, but 9 synth engines? How much of that is actually selling? KRONOS is the only product on the fucking marketplace that has come back because so many people have requested it. What's next? What is coming after this? Because for the last 15 years, nothing else has existed that even remotely compares to the KRONOS. Some might argue that Kurzweil fulfills that role. And that may be true to an extent because Vast is pretty incredible. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Kurzweil is doing some amazing things. They really are. The K2700, the new K20 series, those are phenomenal keyboards. They really are. But what's going to happen to the workstation after KRONOS and NAUTILUS? Software is going subscription based. We don't have a lot of options in terms of having a single cohesive environment where we can just sit down and create music with. There's no keyboard that really within a decent price point anymore. KRONOS and Nautilus are incredible for what they are. But look at the price tags. We're getting 9 synth engines. We're getting 16 tracks of sequencing, 16 tracks of audio recording, right? And we're paying a premium for it, 3 to 4 grand at least. By today's standards, the sequencing and audio recording features are primitive at best. At best. Where are the workstations that are competing with DAWs? Fuck the MPC. I don't give a shit about the MPC. Yes, I want one. Yes, it would be nice to have one. But the MPC isn't a true synthesizer production environment the way KRONOS is. I think it competes with the DAW in some respects. But in most ways, it doesn't. It's a sequencer first, and that's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, that's fantastic. But where are the cohesive platforms that are DAW-like in hardware form? Because if software is going subscription-based and musicians are forced to go software, and keyboard workstations are slowly disappearing because of it, let me make something very fucking clear. The problem isn't that workstations are inferior to DAWs. The problem is we're lacking belief in the workstation. I can't live without a workstation. If the workstation disappears, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm done. I'm not going to go software. I'm done. I'll just continue using what I have. How many people are actually in my position that are genuinely worried about this the way I am? You are my people. Korg, we need to talk because, if we go back to the 90s, from the M1 to the T series to the O&W to the Trinity to the Triton, the M50, the Chrome, these were cohesive production environments that have largely disappeared from the, marketplace. All that's left is KRONOS and NAUTILUS, and those are fantastic, don't get me wrong. But you're missing a huge opportunity. The research has already been done with the Triton. Why not bring it back? Bring it back in hardware form. Let's combine the Triton with the M50 and the Chrome. Let's take the Trinity's access synthesis system and AI2. There's your multiple synth engines right there. Different approaches to different eras of sound. One defined an entire generation of music in the 90s. That was AI, not to be confused with artificial intelligence. AI synthesis with Korg stood for advanced integrated. That lasted damn near a fucking decade until the Trinity came out. And even then, they were still using it. Holy shit! Even then, they were still using it. The N264, that used AI too. The i30 came out in 1998, which is right in front of me, actually. That used AI too. All of the Korg arrangers used AI2 and AI, Advanced Integrated, and Advanced Integrated 2, the second generation. And then we had various, other technologies in between that. The Trinity's access, Advanced Combined Controlled Synthesis System. The Triton comes out. Holy mother! Do you realize that the samples of the Triton are actually far lower quality than what they were in the Trinity? It's true. They're far lower. I tested this. But what makes the Triton sound so fucking brilliant? What made the Triton define an entire generation all over again, the way the M1 did? Hyper integrated. They took lo-fi samples, recorded at 16-bit, 48 kilohertz. They took those samples and they put it with the synthesizer engine that made them sound more aggressive. Why do you think the Triton sounds the way it does? It's because of the synth engine. It's not the DACs. It's the synth engine itself. It's the way the sample is processed through the synth engine. That's why you have so much punch, so much grit, so much incredible dynamic range with the Triton. Does it sound as clean and as lush as the Trinity? No. Because hyper-integrating wasn't designed that way, not the way Access was. We need to bring these back. We need to bring back, and I'm not talking about rehashing M1 sounds or O1W sounds or none of that. They did that with Nautilus. Like they just brought back the M1 sounds in Nautilus. You don't get the actual combinations or whatever. It's a fucking PCG file containing original M1 programs. They came out the best of an arguably stingy range of Triton sounds of only 128 programs. I mean, when we're talking 6 years of Triton programs, 9 PCM expansion boards, and well over 1,000 programs and combinations, and over 500 ARPs. The best you can come up with 128 programs. Really? And you call it best of? Best of what? Best of what? Where's Future Loop Construction? Sure, you have all the grand piano sounds in there, but the grand piano sounds were only, I mean, what, 64 programs? Come on. On top of what KRONOS and NAUTILUS already have in terms of groundbreaking, realistic pianos, what are we doing here? Korg, you have the power and capacity to come out with newer, updated versions of these workstations. Where are they? Where are they? Are we just going to leave the M1 to fucking die and eventually turn into fucking vaporware? That goes for the Triton VSTi and the Trinity VST. I don't give a shit about the software. I want to see the hardware. I want to see real fucking keyboards back into the marketplace. I'm tired of this. I'm dead fucking tired of this. I want to go software when I fucking choose to go software. I don't want to be forced into it. I want a product that I can put my entire fucking world into for the next 20, 30, 40 years. I want a product that allows me to choose if I want to use a DAW or not. Where the DAW becomes an extension, not the other way around. Korg, are you listening? You are our only hope. Bring back the OASYS for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. Yes, I know KRONOS and NAUTILUS are, essentially the OASYS repackaged in a cheaper build. I get that. But imagine if we made a modern day OASYS. Imagine if we made something that actually competed with the DAW. At least 64 tracks of MIDI, 32 tracks of audio. At least. Massive sample libraries. And we go far beyond the 9 synth engines. We take the entirety of the Wave Station, the MS-2000, the Radius, the Z1, the Prophecy. We take the entirety of these. Fuck, even the Prologue. Who's to say you can't make a 32-voice Prologue synthesizer with analog oscillators and circuitry and filters? Pop that in the OASYS 2. Let's bring back the $10,000 flagship. That's resets, not just sets, but resets the benchmark. Where the DAW is taking over, companies need to be doubling down on the workstation because that's the only fucking way they're going to survive. I don't know what more to say. I'm done pretending that everything's okay when it's not. I'd love to have a KRONOS or NAUTILUS sitting in front of me. I absolutely would. But I don't have the money for them right now. And I'm genuinely worried about the workstation market because it isn't fair. The synthesizer market is booming. It's booming like you wouldn't believe. We've got Dave Smith instruments. We've got the Hydrasynth and the Leviasynth. Moog 1 isn't available anymore, but we had that at one point. We've got the third wave. Behringer's coming out with a shit ton of synthesizers. By the way, where's the BX1? I'm really interested in that. They even have their own PPG clone that's been out for a while now. While the synthesizer market is booming, where the fuck are the workstations? Where are they? Have we stopped believing them? Do you guys not realize that we're at a point now where we have ARM-based CPUs that are blowing the fucking smithereens out of workstations? Not even a fucking decade ago. Look at Apple Silicon. What's coming next after the M5 is going to be utterly ridiculous. I think the M6 is going to make M5 look like child's play by comparison. I don't think Apple is anywhere near slowing down with their silicon chipsets. And these are ARM-based chipsets. Intel is finally starting to compete. Qualcomm with the Snapdragon, they're finally starting to compete. We have ARM-based CPUs that are more powerful than ever before. We have a far greater capacity to create the greatest synthesizer workstations of all time. Nobody's doing it. Why? Korg, please do something. I'm turning to you. Because quite frankly, you're the only company I trust. Yeah, you messed up on a few things. I get that. Every company does. I can forgive that. But what I cannot forgive is you guys being our only hope and admitting defeat. The ambition you guys had with the Blue Bomber and the OASYS needs to come back. It's really that simple. Those of you who don't remember the Blue Bomber, watch out. The next video or two, I'm going to talk about that. I'm actually in the process of redoing the OASYS, KRONOS, and NAUTILUS video that I did earlier when I first started this channel. That's going to be the start of something really big that's happening for the channel. So, anyways, this is where we're at. I'm genuinely worried. I really don't know what more to say other than it's time to double down. Fuck your fear. Be courageous. Take back your power and be fucking courageous. I'm not going to sit here and let the workstation crumble while the synthesizer market is booming and software DAWs are going subscription based. Because at this point, we lack ownership. The workstation has become more imperative than ever before because of authorship and ownership and creativity. Where you have one cohesive environment, and if you want to take it to the DAW and bounce your tracks to disk or add stuff to it, the DAW then becomes an extension. But it's time to double down more than ever before. I can't say this enough. If Nord can make a $6,000 keyboard, that's nothing special under the hood. Why can't you guys make a proper fucking workstation? Why can't you guys make a workstation that actually competes? What is the issue here? Is it R&D? What are you doing with all the revenue you're making from KRONOS sales, NAUTILUS sales, and the sales of all your other synthesizers, the micro Korg? Where's all that revenue going? Serious question. The research for the Triton L1W M1 T series has already been done. You already made the Z1. You could go back to the drawing board, and bring them back, but for the modern era. Think of it like a brand new generation of a Mercedes S-Class or a BMW 7 Series. How long have those cars existed? It's the same thing. Certain cars come back after a while. It's nice to see, actually. The Ford Bronco came back after God knows how many years. And look at the success it's had. I understand that the car industry is completely different. But for us musicians, it's kind of no different. It's just a little more niche. Guys, come on. What are we doing here? I don't know what more to say. This is Aurelius Unhinged, saying don't settle. I'm out.